Coach, give us your overall interpretation of the game and what you saw.
Well, first off, I thought it was an intense game. You know, these type of games, rivalry games, divisional games, that's what you expect. You know, and again, I have to remind the team that we're at the top of the mountain right now. Being a preseason #1 team, everybody's going to come after us. We're going to get everyone's best shot. And so I thought it was a great football game. A lot of intensity. It was chippy there the entire game, but that's what you come to expect. And I thought our guys did a really good job of matching their intensity, playing extremely hard. You know, we didn't play perfect, but we made enough plays that mattered. I thought defense played lights out. You know, aside from one fluky play where the ball got tipped by 3 or 4 guys and ended up in their hands, I thought we played phenomenal on defense. Offensively, made the plays when we needed to. Didn't make them consistent enough for my liking, but made the plays we needed to make. You know, and then special teams we got going there later with our coverage phases. So all in all, you know, kind of been the story of our season so far. You know, playing really, really well at times, playing ho-hum at times, but finding a way to get it done. You know, and that's I think the mark of a championship team is that you still find a way to get it done even when you don't play your best. So we'll enjoy it tonight. Great to be 2-0 in conference play, extending our home streak to 17 games now. We got to come back and get ready to go because we got another tough challenge going up to Urbana next weekend.
Coach, the commissioner was here, and I heard him before the game telling you and Coach that the importance of this game. Now it's not so easy to have the commissioner here putting that kind of pressure on you. But what exactly, take it away from what he said, if you could paraphrase what he said.
Well, I try to be as politically correct as I can in many situations, but when the commissioner walks up and says, hey, this is the conference championship here, Coach Robinson and I obviously have a lot of respect for one another, so we know the magnitude of the game. Obviously, whoever wins this game, it really has a 2-game lead in the division because obviously you got to lose twice, and we're not on the head-to-head against Jackson and Alabama State, and they were picked 2 and 3. Respectively in the preseason polls. So we knew the magnitude of the game. We knew what was at stake. We really wanted to make sure we came out and played well because obviously we talked about controlling our own destiny, and winning tonight allows us to continue to do that. So again, the commissioner tried to put some pressure on us, but I've been used to that kind of stuff my whole life.
Coach, when I looked at the schedule this year, in my mind I said, Valley is a trap game because you have Southern coming right behind it. And Urbana is not easy to win in. If you go in there sleeping, you're going to come out of there with an L. What do you do to keep the team not looking forward to traveling to Baton Rouge, but to make sure that they get the win in Mississippi?
Well, again, the message is it's another divisional game. From here, the next, I think, 6 games are all conference games. And so because of the setup, it doesn't matter whether it's the Eastern Division game or Western. They all count on our overall conference standings. And so right now we're basically 2 games up. We'd have to lose twice in order to not represent the conference in the championship game. But we want to keep it that way the entire season. So going up to the Urbana, we got to be prepared to play our best ball. They're scrappy, they're tough, they've always played hard. Those guys have a lot of pride in the Delta. It's a long trip, probably the longest trip that we'll have this year. And for us, just driving through the Delta, it does something to you. And so I got to prepare our team for what that'll look like, for the atmosphere that once we get the Urbana to the stadium. But again, as long as we uphold the standard that we set for ourselves, it shouldn't matter the opponent, it shouldn't matter the venue, the travel time. Our standard is excellence, and for us to hit excellence, we got to chase perfection. We haven't played a perfect game yet, so the motivation for us is we still got to figure out how we can play perfect football, and until we do, we can't afford to overlook anyone.
Coach, Coach Robinson talked about the game day atmosphere at FAMU, and he said he hope his guys don't get lost in it. I mean, it was pretty electric out there. Almost a sold out crowd. It almost looked like a homecoming game. How great is it, for you, a coach, and you and the players to feed off of the energy at Kid Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium?
Well, it's a great feeling. 2 weeks in a row, we've had a ton of recruits here, and for those guys to see our atmosphere, game day atmosphere, it really goes a long way. A lot of these guys are being recruited by Power 5 programs, Group of 5 programs, and they had this misconception about HBCU football or FCS football. But to come here and to see a game day atmosphere where the crowd is packed, it's electric, it's really good football, guys are making plays. We've got a lot of interest from these guys, and that's what you want to see. But it's just amazing to have the following of Rattler Nation, to be able to know that every time you walk out of the tunnel, you're going to see a sea of orange and green. When we travel on the road, the Rattler Nation is going to be behind us. And that's one of the selling points in recruiting that, hey, there ain't many fan bases that can match FAMU's commitment to supporting our sports program, particularly our football team. So again, I challenged Rattler Nation early in the week, but I knew it was going to be a rival game, and I figured we'd have a great crowd. But hopefully we'll continue to travel well, continue to support these guys, because we really feed off that energy that they bring now at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium.